NYAMMY is coming in April. Hello everyone, it's Lel, and in this video we're going to talk about episode titles for Wonderful PreCure in the month of April. NYAMMY is arriving in Wonderful PreCure in this month, so let's check out the episode titles. The first thing that we have to notice here is that we have 4 episode titles, but episode 9 is listed wrong here. So we're probably gonna have episodes 10 to 13 in April, but we don't have the title for episode 13 yet. So let's talk about the episodes. We're going to have episode 9 that we've already seen, Middle School Student Komugi, and now for the new ones, episode 10 is an episode that we've already seen as well. The title, it's called Memories in the Snow. It's Yuki no Naka no Omoide, which means memories in the middle of Yuki. So memories in the snow, or Yuki's memories. I feel like it is supposed to have this double meaning because Yuki means snow, but it's also the name of the cat that is going to transform into NYAMMY. Episode 11 is called A Giant Creature Lurking in the Mountains, and I believe that we're finally going to learn a little bit more about the big bad wolf that appeared already in Wonderful PreCure. We finally might have some information on the villains of this season, who they are, what they're doing, and what's actually going on. And we have episode 12, which is going to be called I Am NYAMMY. So one interesting thing about Wonderful PreCure is that the episode titles are very simple, very straightforward. We usually had like 2 sentences, 2 phrases in PreCure titles, and in Wonderful PreCure we have only 1. So it's very simple, very straightforward. And episode 12, I Am NYAMMY. So NYAMMY is definitely appearing in episode 12. So let's talk a little bit about the episode titles that we have for this month. And as I said, going back to the episode count here, it's important because episode 9 is wrongly listed that is airing in April 7, but it's not the case. It's episode 10 that is airing in April 7. So NYAMMY is appearing in episode 12, but she is not going to appear in April 28. Instead, she is going to appear in April 21. We don't have the episode title of episode 13 that is airing on April 28. This might mean, okay, this is a big might, if we have back-to-back appearances, we might have in the next episode Kira Lillian, for example. If that's the case, Kira Lillian can also join the team in April. But there are lots of buts here that we are going to discuss. So the first thing that I feel like we have to talk about is episode 8. In this episode, we saw some very funny interactions between NYAMMY and also Komugi and NYAMMY, not NYAMMY, Yuki and Komugi. And in this episode, we saw that Yuki saw Komugi turning into human Komugi. So she knows that there are animals that have this ability, or she knows that there is an animal that has this ability. So she might be thinking about becoming something else, about also being a human. And remember that in Wonderful PreCure, for Komugi to turn into a human, she just had to wish for it, and the mirror stone made her become a human and gave her power to become a human. This might be the case with Yuki as well. We don't have these episode summaries, so we don't know why Yuki will turn into a human. Will Mayu be in danger and she will want to save her, or is it because of something else? I feel like this is a point of discussion. We can theorize, we can talk about it. If you have any theories on why Yuki is going to become a human and turn into NYAMMY, please leave in the comments. Let's talk about this specific fact. And there's also another thing that we have to discuss, which is the merchandise release. Merchandise is very important for a new Cure. Whenever she appears, we have a wave of merchandise following her release. We had an exception last year with Cure Wing. When Cure Wing was released in Hirogaru Sky, he also arrived in April, but his merchandise only arrived in stores in June. So we had a big gap between his arrival in the show and his merchandise in stores. this is going to happen again with NYAMMY because her merchandise is getting released May 25. So it's a little far away. And another interesting point for us to think about is that May 10 will give us another piece of merchandise. We don't really know what it is. It is called MET Ribbon Tambourine that we believe is the weapon or the item that both NYAMMY and Lillian are going to use, or maybe the group is going to use after the friendly tact. We don't really know what this is. We don't have pictures of it, but we have already seen it listed in a website, so we know it exists. And it's also going to be the ending item, the item that they use in the dance ending. So the item exists. So it is going to be released May 10. So maybe until May 10th, we will already have NYAMMY and Lillian in the team because they might use this item. And another thing is that we don't have any listings for both of them when it comes to their transformation devices. We don't know how they will transform and which item they will use to transform. We have nothing listed yet. So we might believe that MET Ribbon Tambourine might be used as a weapon and also as a transformation device for NYAMMY and Lillian. Who knows, right? It can have multiple functions, and this is a great thing if that's the case because you will only have to buy one item. So yes, NYAMMY is coming in April. We have one more episode in April that we don't know the date of, so it's also important, not important, but it's, you know, something to pay attention to because we are going to have something else this month that we don't know what it is. Another episode. It can be Lillian's arrival in the show, or it can be something else. Another thing also that is interesting for us to think about is the fact that we have, it seems at least in episode 11, we are going to have the introduction of the villain, or at least they are going to know a little bit about this villain or know about the existence of this villain, something in the mountains. And I believe that this is related to the villain because when we saw the villain, they were in the mountains with the lion. So this might have been, this might be an introduction, and we might have a starting point of the villain side of the story as well because we haven't seen anything about them apart from that particular scene. So April is going to be a very, very exciting month for Wonderful PreCure. We have lots of new stuff coming. We don't know when Lillian is coming. Do you believe Lillian is coming right after NYAMMY, or do you believe we're gonna have a gap between their releases like it was with Cure Wing and Cure Butterfly in Hirogaru Sky PreCure? I feel like we have a very solid and strong duo between Komugi and Iroha, and now with Yuki and Mayu, we might have a different scenario. We might have a different type of duo, a duo that works differently, or maybe a gap between both of them arriving in the show. I would really like if NYAMMY arrived in the show and she would help the girls without the girls actually knowing that she is Yuki or that she is Mayu's cat. And Mayu doesn't even know either. You know, something like that would be a lot of fun to watch for a while in Wonderful. All I know is that I'm very excited. I love NYAMMY's design. She looks fire. She looks incredible, and I cannot wait to see her killing it in Wonderful PreCure. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinnamon channel. If you are a member, thank you very, very much for your support. If you are a member here on YouTube, if you are a member on Patreon, if you are someone who supports me on Throne as well, thank you very, very much for everything. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye!